Hello and welcome to Adobe Live. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm already starting. Full disclosure, I'm getting off of being super sick, so if more of that happens on this stream, I'm really sorry. But with that, I'm Dené Ellis. I am on the Adobe Express community team, and I am so excited for our special Valentine stream. But before we get started, I'd like to introduce you to my favorite co-host, Andy Lambert. Hi, Andy.
I'm a favorite co-host. You say all the nicest things. And considering you spent the whole weekend sick, you look incredible. So
Thank
all
you very
courtesy.
much. But I'm also going to be super nice to you today because I'm making you a Valentine. So get ready. It's all good things for
Yes.
Andy today.
And dreams come true.
Yes. Okay, so let's introduce ourselves for real before we get started. You go first.
Oh, I get to go first. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm Andy. I'm one of the senior product managers working on Express. My area of expertise is the social media scheduling capabilities in Express that you might have used and seen. And if you tuned into one of our regular streams, you'd have heard us talk about this a lot already. So more will be coming today. But yeah, that's probably it for my intro. And we'll talk more as we go on. So over to you, Jordan.
Yeah. So like I said, I work on the Adobe Express community team, but what I also bring to the table is 13 years of small business experience. So normally our streams are like not very serious, but normally like pretty business focused, where Andy brings a lot of analytics and like social media, online marketing, news and numbers. And then I bring like more more go with your gut tactics, I think, for running a small business and marketing online. But today's stream is completely goofy, to be honest. It's Valentine's week almost. And so we're taking all the things that you know, could use for more serious projects, but doing maybe our silliest project yet is we're making Valentines with all of the AI capabilities in Adobe Express, and I'm super excited. And to be honest, this is like max what my brain can handle today, so this is perfect. But yeah, if you are curious about all of the Firefly integrations in Adobe Express, today is a perfect day to hang out with us. If you have questions, please drop them in the chat. This is going to be much more of like a hanging out and working together in Adobe Express day than we normally do. So if you have questions about the product that you want to see, if you have suggestions, please feel free to drop them. We have the chats open, and we're really just here to hang out with you and make some cool stuff. And some punny Valentines, because that's my favorite. So
Exactly. And
yeah.
plus, I'm here to keep Jordan on track as well, to make sure she does a bit of the kind of strategy and how-to stuff. Because amidst all of, even though you describe it as like, oh, goofy, fun exercise today, and yeah, you're a lot more fun than me, so you bring all the fun. So I'm here to bring you back down to earth to make sure you're considering the strategy and the how-tos, because at its core, there's some really interesting stuff here. When we haven't covered this before in one of our streams, in particular, what you've got up and what we're about to show in a minute, Adobe Firefly and all of the cool creative capabilities that gives us to really help us make some seriously standout social content. So there's definitely lots of fun, interesting stuff coming your way, but also some really interesting stuff you can take away into your own workflows to speed up and achieve better creative results on social. So there you go. There's my 2 cents.
Thank you. Perfect. So with that, I think let's dive in to firefly.com. If you have never played with Firefly, we're going to go into Adobe Express, don't worry. But I like to start with a little bit of an explanation just because I think this is important. This is not news, so if you are a frequenter of Adobe Live, you will know everything about Firefly already. But I just like to start by saying that our models are trained on Adobe stock. So that's really important to a lot of people, and also me, that we know exactly where everything that our model is trained on comes from. We have the rights to it. So for those who are concerned about being able to use this for commercial purposes, which is a really big deal, Adobe takes that really seriously, and so it's all out of beta and ready to be used, and I just like to start everything with that bit of information. If you have questions, there are people who know much more about Firefly than me that have done lots of streams, or feel free to drop questions and I'll find answers if I don't have them. But that said, here's our homepage. It is not something you have to download like Adobe Express. You can just go to it on web. There are a few newish things that if you haven't been here in a while, and Andy, if you catch anything that I'm missing, feel free to shout it out. But first up, our Discord is here, and it is an awesome place to hang out. Our moderators in there, I know Gus and Aaron are in there all the time. There are like creative prompts. There are writing prompt like help and ideas and all types of things. There are also tons of people sharing their projects. And so if you just kind of are really interested, excuse me, in what's happening with AI, our Discord is a great place to hang out. Highly recommend it. This all is pretty normal and has been here for a while. This is like the different types of the different, I guess, features of Firefly that are available in our different products. So just as a super quick run through, text to image is here and in Express. Generative fill is in Photoshop. Text effects is in Express. Generative recolor is in Illustrator. Text to template is in Express, and text to vector graphic is in Illustrator. And our goal today is to make a Valentine using every single generative AI feature in Adobe Express. So we will see all of them. I have no idea what it will look like by the end. I'm really excited. But this is something that is, excuse me, new. If you haven't been on the Firefly site in a while, this is my favorite thing. Firefly Image 2 model is out now. And so just to show this slider, whoops, look at the difference between 1 and 2. And I like to show that because, yeah, it's super cool. And I remember playing with, Firefly from the beginning, and it's really, really nice playing with it now, I'll just say. Like the image generation is amazing. And just to let everyone know, at this moment, at least, Image 2 is not in Adobe Express. So I'm going to show you if you want to generate in Firefly and then bring it over to Adobe Express. That's what I do sometimes if I want to use some of the new capabilities in Firefly.
I wish it could do something to make me look that good in a roll neck, to be honest, Jordan.
Listen, this is a great outfit. This is a great background. This man is killing it. Oh, I didn't even realize there are different...
gives you such a good feel for the difference.
Yeah. Super cool. We also have a couple different versions of galleries. We have this one here, and I'll show our community gallery next. And at the bottom, we have some in exploration. So these are things that like the team is thinking about. I can't promise when or if any of these are coming out, but if you're super curious about like what's going on with Firefly, you can always scroll down to the bottom and see what's in exploration. So that's the homepage, but we also have favorites. I think mine is kind of sad right now. Oh no, I did spend some time hanging out and filling my favorites out a little bit, but this is a really cool place to save things that you generated that are your favorites. You can always come back to. One thing, I think I'm still correct about this, just to give you the heads up, your favorites are tied to your device, not your login from the last that I heard. So just to give that awareness, if at the moment, I think, just so if you look, it looks like your favorites are gone, maybe you're on a different device. So I just wanted to give that heads up. But this community tab is really cool. There are community prompts and also some community videos. And I think this is brand new. So here's my lovely coworker, Anna, which is super cool. There are different like community leaders with videos in here. And it's just a really like, the gallery is cool, but this is nice to see. Oh yeah, there's Paul. It's just a cool way to see like what the Firefly community is actually making. So I think this is new. I haven't seen it before at least. And so I just wanted to call that out. And also like in the normal gallery, you can hover over anything and you can see the prompt that was used, which is just a really nice way to get more prompt ideas because, you know, that is not something I'm an expert in by any means yet.
There's skill in that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think I often find that I need some help when it comes to coming up with the right prompt.
Yeah. And that's why our Discord is also amazing. So I was looking, okay. I have an idea of what I want to start with. And I think that this is actually a perfect place to start. But so I just clicked on that from the community post. And now you can see that the prompt is right here and I can update it. And for my first idea, I actually want something with a frog. So I'm going to say a cute frog. I also heard this tip. I don't know if you've heard this, Andy. Apparently adding the word cute to a prompt will give you like these really cute big eyes. Is something that I don't know if that's like an urban legend or if that's real. But every time you hit generate, you will get 4 options here. You can choose the aspect ratio. Do you think we want to make, so we're making a Valentine, but we're also making it for social. Should we make a vertical video, like a Valentine video, or should it be animated, or should we make a square? We should make a video probably, right?
Go on. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. So let's do portrait. Okay, look at this little frog. And just to show a couple other things. So I don't really want it photorealistic. I want to keep the art style, but some of this is new too if you haven't checked it out yet. So you can actually, we were asked for this a whole lot. You can upload your own image as a style reference if you have like a photo style or an illustration style or a design style, but you can also look at our reference image gallery too if you want like a specific design style that maybe you don't have the vocabulary for, because there are lots of design styles that I don't know what they're called, but I would like recognize it if I saw it. Or if you just want like to check out these beautiful styles, they're really cool. But I kind of like the style we have. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you can definitely do images at a time. Can you pull in a whole library? We're gonna do it next. Yeah. And no. Thank you for that. And also just to answer the Firefly versus Express question. So Firefly is kind of like a playground or like a sandbox where you can create a bunch of stuff. Can everyone still hear both of us? Okay. I'm gonna keep talking, and I hope this is still okay. I see some things in the chat. So I guess let us know if you can't hear both of us. But Firefox is like a sandbox or sorry, Firefly is a sandbox or a playground where you can use it as like it's the AI generator. So that is also integrated into other Adobe tools. So it's all based on firefly.com, but that technology is also in Adobe Express and in Photoshop and in Illustrator right now. So you can do everything on the Firefly homepage, but you can use it within the other products as well. So I hope that is that a good enough explanation of the difference, you think? Okay. Okay. No, I think we're okay now. We'll see. Let us know. Let us know if not. But yeah, I don't know if you have more questions about the difference between Firefly and Express, but I'm about to open Express in a second. So you can see we can generate in Firefly, we can generate in Express, and then we can do all kinds of other things if we want to do a full project with like text and animation and schedule it to social. That's all going to happen in Express. So with that, I just wanted to show one last thing that's super fun. I'm going to switch it to photo for a second just to show you these cool features, but I'll switch it back. In the photo settings, you can actually adjust things like aperture and shutter speed and field of view, which is super cool. Like you can pretend, that you are shooting this photo with your camera and adjust all of those settings. So that is super exciting. But for this project, I'm going to switch it back to art and I'm going to generate portrait mode, and then I'll open it in Express and start creating our little Valentine.
Valentine's quite like a frog.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna see how this goes.
I can't wait.
Do you have a favorite? I'm kind of into the one with this little bow tie, but
yeah.
How do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm digging that guy.
So we could save it to our favorites. We could okay, sorry. To show you these other options, we can download it, we can copy the link to share it, we can edit it in Express. Oh, and we can save it to a library. I was wrong for whoever asked that. We can save it to a Creative Cloud library, and then that is something you can open in any of the Creative Cloud apps. So you could open it in Photoshop, Illustrator, Express. All the libraries are synced across the Creative Cloud, which is super exciting. And under Edit, just to show, you can do generative fill in Firefly. You can ask it to show similar if we like, this guy, but it's not quite right. We can get a bunch of other options, and you can remove background and all sorts of things in Adobe Express. But with that, let's go ahead and edit this in Express. It'll open up for us, which is super exciting. Okay, so here we go. Look at this cutie little frog. And we want to make this into a Valentine. So to explain why we started with a little frog or toad, I'm going to add some text here. So I was a weirdo homeschool kid, and I used to make like super goofy Valentines for my friends all the time, but I didn't have things like AI, prompt or ChatGPT or anything like that. So I used to write just super goofy copy by myself. I don't have to do that anymore. So I got a couple lines of really great punny Valentines for coworkers. So our Valentine here is, oh wait, hold on. We got to switch this. We got to make this visible. Let's start by, we'll do this for now. All right. I'm totally grateful for your teamwork. Valentine, this is for you, Andy. Okay, so this is not gonna work at all as far as this text goes. So let's go to the recommended fonts. Maybe this one. Okay. And we got to make this a little more visible. Let's do a shape on this. All right. Maybe make this a little bigger. Okay. How does that feel?
Looking good.
Okay, so talking about the different types of Firefly integrations in Adobe Express. We have text to image, which we did already. We have generative fill, which I wanted to see if we can add some little hearts. So let's try this. We have our brush size here. I'm gonna try to see if we can make a bubble heart. Let's see. Do we have any more questions? Sorry.
No, not at the moment, but I'd love to know from anyone who's watching in the chat. how, if people have been using Firefly and how they found Firefly and Express for creating generative AI creation. So yeah, I'd love to hear your examples and experiences.
All right, that'll work. So you can basically, sorry, I just jumped in without explaining it. With generative fill, you just super roughly brush in an area. Like you can see, I am not doing a great job. I don't even have my mouse connected. This is just, kind of brushing in, and then you can type whenever you want. So let's try again. Clear bubble heart. And see what we get. So you can obviously use this for serious things. Like if you have, if you've done a photo shoot for a product and you need to add something, or there we go. This is super cute. Add something or delete something. You have my friend Josh, who is a baker, has talked about times where he's like set up a perfect like product shot on a kitchen table and then realized he like forgot something. You can, just add it in. So it's really nice for serious things, but also for things like this. If you just want some little extra hearts in your Valentine's card, then you can have them, which is great. Okay, so we have that. I think we actually want to resize this to, let's do our Instagram story. Let's resize that. Go ahead.
I'm going to share a comment from, whilst you're doing that, I'm going to share a comment from Vikrant in the chat. Sorry if I've pronounced your name incorrectly. Saying, sometimes I try to apply the effects in Photoshop and Illustrator, but not get the proper outcome. Hence, Firefly is one of the best tools I use to generate images. So gives you more creative freedom ultimately. So perfect example. And that really is a kind of an underlying mission of Firefly. To you started with this, Jordan, about like being the only commercially safe generative AI tool. It's not here to replace creativity, it's here to augment it. When you kind of hit those roadblocks and go, I wish I could do this, I kind of see what I want in my mind's eye, but don't quite know how to create it or get the right result. That's really where generative AI plays a really like, a kind of co-pilot role in the creative process. Certainly not to replace it, that's for sure.
Yes.
A tangent there, Jordan.
No, please do, especially when I'm typing. That's great. But okay, so we did text to image. We did generative fill, and next I'm going to do some text effects. So down here, ooh. I think I'll probably make my own to make it super Valentine's-y, but wait, that is either spooky. Oh, red jello. Okay, that actually, I can't tell if that's cute or terrible. It got, wait, hold on, let's see. 4 candy. Oops. No, that looks a little too gory, to be honest. We're gonna change that. Okay. Well, it was a nice try. We are going to go ahead and change that prompt. What do you think? Let's do something maybe red. Okay, what? Do you have an idea?
Unless you want to tie it in with the frog.
Like,
well, we could prompt it related to, I wonder what frog would do, or something like that.
Okay, we're gonna find out. I don't necessarily think this is gonna work.
This might, yeah.
Yeah, no. This is like that's like a children's. You could illustrate a children's book with that for sure.
You really could.
Okay, let's do let's see what red glitter looks like. The balloon texture is pretty cool too. We can try that if this doesn't work.
Honestly, okay. I find most of my time spent with using the recommended fonts, because
oh yeah,
I don't feel like I've got the vision for what an incredible text effect should look like. So yeah,
1000%.
Yeah.
You know what? I think this will work though. And then we can also we can choose a couple different fonts as well. So let's do maybe this one. Yeah, I think that'll be great. And yes, I really like, this is one of my favorite things to do on Valentine's Day. I like making these in person too and doing like really wild collages, but digital is really fun too. And then, you know, you can post it on social, you can send it via Slack. Oh, PJ has an interesting comment. When I get an idea and try to draw it out, my hands don't get the message from my brain, but when I try AI prompts, it's closer to what I imagined. That's so interesting. I mean, I am not, I used to draw a lot as a kid and I loved it. And then that's like something that I stopped exercising. So I don't have those skills in the same way I used to. I would love to get back into it. But I think that's something that's really cool about AI in general, and especially Firefly, is that it gives, like, it just makes creating more accessible, which is really cool. Okay, and then I think we want to animate this. Let's go into the elements and let's just see what happens when we search hearts. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm gonna duplicate this, have a couple of these, rotate them a little bit. And then to animate, you can just go down here. Let's have these kind of breathing or some jittery hearts. That's very cute. Okay, we'll do that. We'll do the same on both. Okay, so I feel really good about this one by itself, and we didn't show text to template, so I'm going to go back and start a second one and add this to it as a page, if that sounds good to you. If you feel good, if you feel good about this one.
Good call. Okay,
great. Okay, so let's let me just title this and get into the good habit of doing that. Valentine for Andy. Numbering the year, because you'll definitely get one of these next year too, don't you worry. Okay, so we're going to go to the homepage of Express. Okay, so we have done text to image, generative fill, text effects, and now text to template is the last one that we haven't used yet. So I'm going to type in a vertical goofy Valentine card with puns for a coworker, for a favorite coworker. And we're going to see, this might be too specific. My favorite thing about text to template is you can ask it for something that you are pretty sure there is not an existing template for. Like, I would be shocked if that template exists in Adobe Express, because I'm probably the only one. And sometimes you get some really unhinged things. Like, I'm not sure what is happening in the middle, but I like this one a lot, so I'm going to ask for variations of it.
I'm not sure I'm happy with the middle one as a Valentine's card.
No, that one can go, but you know, that's the other thing, and that's really fun about AI. Like, honestly, sometimes if I'm having a bad day, I just generate goofy things. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. We have some really cow-centric Valentines, but
that second one all day long.
The second one's gotta be it. Okay, so we're gonna start from here. We might make some tweaks because it's not my favorite to look at the moment. And I'll say too, the texted template, in my personal opinion, is more of like a starter. It's rarely like ready to use off the bat, in my opinion. So it's just kind of like giving you the basic foundation, and then you can go from there. But let's start by resizing this, because we know I'm gonna make a series of Instagram stories. So let's do Instagram Reel.
Whilst you're doing that, Jordan,
Yeah.
just want to call out, you might have seen it already, that text to template is in beta at the moment. So
thank you.
In the same way that Firefly was in beta around this time last year, I think, if memory serves. And it's just incredible how quickly these generative AI tools develop, and that the pace is incredible. So the engineers and the teams working on them are doing a phenomenal job. So whilst text to template, there's some results that might not fit the brief right now, but continue trying, experimenting with, continually like improving it, in the same way that you've seen in less than a year after launching Firefly, bringing out Model 2, and you've already seen like the massively marked difference. But yeah, I'm a sucker for a pun anyway, so I was smitten with this the moment I saw it. Anyway.
Okay,
so,
and look,
now we're talking.
When we clicked into the text image, we could see, and the prompt was a goofy cow, which I think was part of the problem. So I asked for a cute one. I added a different texture to it. I like this one a lot, but I don't know. This one looks mad in kind of a fun way. I don't know if you have a favorite of these four, or we could ask. Let's see a couple more. You can always load more, which is also really fun. Thing about generating is you can generate as many as you want. Okay, wow. This one's pretty great. This one's cute too.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
Well, the thing is, I quite like the style of the one that you've got here already, because I think one thing, I mean, and I think you've shown this already, Jordan, is like those different styles of, like, in fabric texture, in art texture, in like in paper texture, how you can get these prompts, rather than just looking like a cartoon, you really can bring it to life in a number of like interesting, cool ways. So yeah, I think I quite like the texture of it. But either way, it's your gift to me, so you have creative control here.
Okay, I like the one you like, so that's perfect. And instead of doing this in the exact same way, I think let's remove the background of this guy, and then we can do maybe a fun video in the background or something like that to really layer this up. Okay, so we'll start there. And let me pull these text boxes. Let's see what we're working with here. Okay. Move this cute little guy down here for now. Utterly amazing coworker, you're the cream of the crop. Okay. Mooch. Love, I don't understand. I'm deleting that line if that's okay. Much love.
That one might be a stretch.
Yeah, I think that's a little this though is perfect. Okay. We're gonna pull these. We'll do a different shape. Okay. I want to, let's try this. No. Let's look at the recommended fonts here. Maybe something.
Whilst you're working with that,
feels good.
Call out a comment from Magdalena, because it's an interesting and important comment about, like, I'm going to paraphrase it here, saying, when it comes to campaigns, it's not just fun generations for me, it's something a company would use publicly. So yeah, I think we called this out at the beginning of the stream. Whilst this is a bit more of a fun example of it, of like, hey, we're making a Valentine's Day card, but the reality is, it's like, these tools are here for commercial purposes. And the kind of difficult reality is that when you're creating content for a business to post publicly, you need to have commercial ownership of whatever you've published. Mm-hmm. We've seen some very, I don't want to like take this on a different track, but like anything posted on social, even organically, even if you're not paid for it, needs to be your owned content. So you can't post a meme of Taylor Swift, for example, because you're going to get in a whole load of trouble for it. Hence the reason if you put Taylor Swift into Firefly, you'll get no results. Because the fact is, everything that you create through Firefly has to be your own IP, ultimately. Has to be something that you can be able to publish. So yeah, we're having a bit of a kind of fun, tongue-in-cheek type of Valentine's Day thing here. But the reality is that there's real good business utility here, because this allows you to free up your creative resources. Not everyone's got the budget to hire an agency or a designer to do something. And when you see something in your mind's eye, which I struggled to see earlier when we're trying to create a text generation, but if you know the kind of thing that you see, if you can dream it, you can do it. And that's the incredibly empowering thing I personally find with generative AI. But appreciate sometimes an interesting subject of debate, this one, that's for sure. But
no, thanks for bringing it back to the important stuff while I'm generating cows. Okay, perfect. We just have this is looking great. Love it. And this is gonna say happy Valentine's Day. Okay, perfect. Okay, so here's all the text that we want. We have our really, really cute little guy. We can use the layers over here to make that visible, make him a little bigger. Okay, so now I want to do one of my favorite things, which is add a video to the background. And let's see what we have. I almost never have video that I want to use, and I always use our Adobe stock video library, which is great. If you want an image that you don't have, you can generate it as we've been doing, or you can check out the Adobe stock like photo library, but we also have a video library here too. I'm just gonna search Valentine and see. I might have to search like heart. Okay. That's exactly what I want.
I'm always surprised how much like good stock video there is. And
yeah,
it always it blows my mind how incredible that is as a resource, how much like stock content you can get access to with Express
included. Yeah, it's amazing. It really, really is. This is like perfect. Let's fill it. Let's drag that to the back. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Wow. I love it. And then I think, okay, we need to make this text a little easier to read, but also because it's a goofy Valentine, we can get a little crazier than normal. So let's do like a glow.
I like that.
God, yeah. All right, this is perfect.
We're really going for it today.
We're really doing it. This is the kind of stuff I do on my own time, if I'm being honest. This is like what I am making most of the time that I'm not doing serious work. I'm doing stuff like this. Just to give you all a little insight into how I spend my time. Literally nothing makes me happier than just like pretty unhinged designs like this. Okay, actually, let's use the eyedropper tool and get, yeah, cool. Do 25. And then copy the same thing down here. You guys are seeing all my Adobe Express tricks. This is how I typically create things. Let's see how that looks. And then I think we want maybe our cow to be animated. Maybe fading in slowly. How's that hit you, Andy?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, perfect.
I love it.
And so if I want, I'm pretty sure I remember how to do this. Okay, so I want to combine those two projects into one. So I can go over into your stuff and see this project. Can I do this? And add as a page, yes. Okay, perfect. So now I have both of them in one, just to make this into like a whole campaign. I can move them around into the order that we made them in. We have like 15 more minutes. Should I make another one really fast, or
Let's
because I don't.
let's go back to Firefly actually, because there's one thing that I just want to call out. And I think you did
Yeah.
at the beginning, but as we were talking about business oriented uses of it too, I think this is just if you scroll down a little bit on the right hand side, like
Yes.
the reference image gallery is a really good way of you being able to upload some of your kind of branded content, the things that you've worked with before, some of your assets, etc., to really kind of hone in whatever your creation or creating and requesting to be created, hone that in so it really does feel on brand straight out of the gate. I think that's a super powerful tool to use when it comes to creating things that are not just like, kind of fun and tongue in cheek from what we're doing right now. And that's typically one of the biggest challenges, and I think one of the struggles I personally had when you're thinking, all of the content I create for social is really business orientated. How can I bridge the gap between what I'm seeing lots of people create on generative AI, which is wonderful, mystical and magical, fun creations, and I'm like, I usually talk about boring stuff, so how can I make generative AI work in that context? And that's where like the reference library makes a great deal of sense, of which I think you're kind of showing some examples here, right?
Yeah. Let's see. We have some sketches. Oh, 3D is fun. Let's try that. Yeah, so you can see it's now the style reference pops up over here. Tim just asked a great question, or maybe asked a while ago. Do you think it added the cow because of the cow in Coworker? And I would love if that's how we got where we just went. Okay. This is so fun. Okay, so I won't change the prompt at all, and just to show like one last. Let's see. Yeah, this is really cool, and especially if whoa. Yeah, like look how different those are. This is so fun. Okay, let me try one of these at the top. And then
And that's like, if you imagine you had like an advertising campaign and you had like a very specific like visual style for it. And like, or maybe you've just gone through a rebrand and a branding agency's done you like a visual identity and that kind of stuff. That then becomes so powerful because you can like imagine your kind of brand identity and the colors and the style in so many different ways. And I think in general, that's been one of the ways that we've seen generative AI be really heavily used in a business context, is that kind of rapid ideation, mood boarding, conceptualizing of things that really speeds up the creative process. So yeah, hopefully it kind of opens up some more possibilities and use cases.
Yes. Okay, I have one last. I'll just add a quick line of text here. Oh wait, first let's make sure
Didn't
this
know you
is the
could
right
draw
size.
so well and paint so well, Jordan.
I know. It's amazing, right? I wish I just did that. That would be super cool. Make this the size we want. All right. Add one more line of text here. Okay. Let's find.
Did you just come up with this just now, Jordan?
I wish. No, I have a really long list because I wasn't sure how many we would do. And I was like, I need to not have to think of anything funny on the spot ever. So thank God. Thank God. I'll never need to. Okay, let's pull in maybe this green. No.
Could do this.
Maybe
Pull in the sand, maybe.
sand. Yep, love that. And then let's make it a little bigger. Can we? Yeah. Ooh. And that's fun. Yeah?
Yep. Yeah, I was going to say about some opacity on that, but good. Guys.
Okay.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay, I'm going to add this to our other project. While that saves, I think I can. Nope. Which one? Let's see. Here we go. Back to your stuff. Add this as a page. Okay. So now we have our 3 absolutely beautiful Valentines that I'm so excited to share on social for you, Andy. So the best way to do this, if I want to do it in a story, is to add them individually, right? If I want to do like a series of stories.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we'll go into this. I could download it. This is a video, so we have a few different options here. We have 3 different video sizes. We could also just download it as static if we want, but I want to schedule this. And in case anyone missed, all of the places we've been announcing this all over, the content scheduler in Adobe Express is now completely free. So if you don't have an Adobe account, if you don't have an Adobe Express premium account, you can still try out and use the content scheduler as many times as you want for as many posts as you want, completely for free. Tell all your friends. It's the most exciting news that I have gotten in a really long time. I think it's amazing. So tell everyone it's great. You just can schedule your post. And if you've never seen this in use before, you can also just upload your own from the calendar, which I'll show in just a second. But while that is, did I not? Let's see. Schedule post. Okay, now it's uploading. I don't know what I did last time. I want this to go to Instagram. And when I hit Instagram, I'll get a few different options here. So I want this to go to a story. And I'm pretty sure I have a business profile set up. We're going to find out, I guess, if I do. Pretty sure I do. And I want this to go out, obviously, on Valentine's Day. Let's do it early my time so that it's, still on the day for Andy, because we are in very different parts of the world. And I can preview what this will look like. I think that looks great.
Love it. Love it.
So, yeah, I can just go ahead and schedule it. And that will go up on Valentine's Day, which I am super excited about. I'll show the calendar in just a second, but I'm going to go ahead and flip through and schedule all of these. So same thing, go to schedule post. If you wanted to schedule it as a reel instead, you could do that. That's also fun. You can also schedule it to Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, or TikTok. And TikTok is a super exciting one. But I'm going to keep all of these as Instagram stories and have this also go out on Valentine's Day. We'll stagger it a little bit to keep you guessing throughout the day.
Oh, I can't wait to see your stories on that day.
Oh, it's going to be great. I'll probably make more because I have a whole list of puns. So my whole feed that day will just be, and maybe some other coworkers will get some too. I do have other lovely folks who work at Adobe, so maybe I'll do a little bit for everyone.
I'm not the only one, Jordan. Oh,
I know. You are my only favorite Adobe Live co-host, though. So you have that for sure.
Yeah.
Ooh,
amazing.
I don't know. This one is taking a minute. Oh, I guess this was the most a
lot going on in that.
Yeah, there's a lot happening. Okay, and then this last one should be super fast because it's static. So you can share static or video. Let's do one last one. Story. The other great thing about stories is you don't have to write a caption, which is my least favorite part of scheduling on when I'm live is writing a caption. So actually,
it's the worst.
It's one of my least favorite things about posting in general, which is why I don't spend as much time on Twitter and mostly on Instagram, because caption writing is not always my favorite. Wait, can I not post a static story?
Static is not supported on stories.
Okay, well,
I should have told you that a second ago, actually.
No, that's okay. You know what? We can
time to show
that, actually.
Time to show resize, I think.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah,
I could also just animate this really fast.
You could animate it, or let's try the resize flow, because I think it's because we've been working in
all right.
The portrait format.
Okay, let me just bring this in a little bit.
A very quick way to take one post that was destined for another channel.
Okay, I am not actually posting this on my feed, though. I'm gonna be honest.
We can show drafts.
I would spend a little more time on this. I'll post a version of it, don't worry. So follow me to see what this ends up looking like by Valentine's Day. But I'll draft it for now, because this is not a complete idea. But just to show, and then actually, because it is a square now, we can post it to all of these places. I will draft it and I'll come back to you. But now I'll write a caption.
It's a nice way, really, to like take one post and make it suitable across multiple different networks, because we'll show the calendar in a second. Just gives you an opportunity to go back into those posts that you scheduled across those 4 of them, and then make your network specific tweaks, because people's, you could tag individuals, because obviously people's tags are slightly different on each network, etc. So we'll come to that.
Yes.
It's looking good though. Love the preview.
Make sure this is on the right day. Cool. And I'm gonna draft it because I'll come back to it. So with our last few minutes, I will show how to find your calendar, and also how to upload things, from your desktop or from other places. If you don't want to only schedule Adobe Express projects, you can just go over to schedule from the homepage, and then you'll see here all of our wonderful Valentine's content on the 14th. So here are my scheduled story. And then here, like Andy was just saying, I could click into each individually. So if you, for example, didn't have the same tag on all of the different platforms, I could change them here. Or you could just customize the caption if you want. So I can click into any of these. I can drag them around, though in this case, I won't, because they really should only go out on Valentine's Day because of the theme. And yeah.
Call out drafting. Like I find it one of the best ways of like planning and ideating stuff. And if you're thinking about taking some of the things that we've covered today to really speed up the content planning process, like imagine like concepting a whole bunch of different posts that you would have. So using Firefly, or the kind of generative AI tools, which are kind of Firefly put into Express, using them to rapidly concept some of your ideas, saving them as drafts in your calendar, gives you a nice opportunity to like really come up with a whole bunch of ideas and easily put them across multiple different days. So you can help speed up the whole content ideation and creation process. So yeah, hopefully it's given you a few different new ideas and inspired in different ways that you can use. Some of pretty much everything we've shown today is free, right, Jordan, as well?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Pretty incredible.
Yeah, so again, we did thanks for going on that ride with us. We'll be back to our regularly scheduled, slightly more serious streams next week, but it's always, I always think it's fun to like take a little break for the holidays and do something silly. And Valentine's Day, at least for me, is like, some people take it very seriously, I'm sure, and I love that for you. It's always been just like a goofy fun holiday for me. So they're actually, Katrina Trios just did like a super cute reel about making goofy Valentines in Adobe Express. So if that is one of your love languages, as it definitely is one of mine, please have fun. If you make one, please feel free to tag me or like send it to me. I would love to see it. And don't worry, I'll be making a lot for sure. But anything else that we missed before we wrap, Andy?
No, I think you've covered it all. Probably just wear people can get hold of us and find us to continue the conversation, because we're always happy to help.
Yeah, I am at Jordan Dené Ellis, and we also have a bunch of videos on the Adobe Live YouTube channel, including this one as a replay. So definitely feel free to follow me for more Express tutorials, and also the Adobe Express and Adobe Live channels for lots of more info there.
Definitely. And you can always catch me at Andy R. Lambert. And typically you'll find me talking social media strategy and nerdy numbers related to trends and everything that's happening in the world of social. So anyway, as you say, Jordan, we'll be back in the next 2 weeks on our regular kind of fortnightly schedule to show you the latest of what's happening in the world of social. So we will see you then.
Yeah, happy early Valentine's, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.